Peace, world. Peace, world. Apologies for the delay. There was a miscommunication. I take full accountability for that. So apologies to all, for having you all waiting. That's my apologies. But with not further ado, we have the Earth, the veteran on this platform, the sister, Wise Asia. Peace, sister. How you doing?
Peace, big brother Mike. I'm good. I'm good with the family in Vegas right now. So,
All right, cool, cool. That's beautiful. She's out there enjoying herself. That's beautiful to hear. So how you feeling?
yes,
Other than that,
I'm
outside of
great.
being in Vegas, like how's the health? Everything else is good?
Everything is good. What you call it? It's a little culture shock to me because my daughter has a lot of life. She has a husband. She got two
Hmm.
children. She has three pets. So
You're getting used
it's
to
a
that,
lot
right?
of life in here.
Yeah, a lot of activity. And for the listeners and viewers, apologies again. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe. We have super chats. There are many things in the works. Stay connected. Engage with us online. Share the content. Be respectful when you come into the comment section. Peace to the comment section. Peace to the divine God Allah. Peace to Him in the 5% nation. Peace to the gods. Peace to the earth. You know, you gotta be right and exact when dealing with that audience. So gotta. So tonight we're gonna be talking about the movie Sinners, and you're gonna take us through a supreme breakdown of it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I have a few
Yeah.
questions.
Okay.
I have a few
So
questions. Go ahead.
yeah. So let's go from the beginning to the end
Mhm.
and jump in with your questions when we get to that part. Or do you have like general questions?
Just general questions, but go ahead. You
So
could break it down first.
I'm flesh, like you know what I mean? I'm flesh. So the movie center attracted me for the main actor. I love his Michael B. Jordan, his acting range,
Hmm.
him playing twins. I think he did an excellent job. So that's what first interests me about the movie. I'm not really into spookism and vampirism and all those other kinds of isms.
Hmm.
I see them symbolically, like Elijah Muhammad said, 10% are rich slave makers of the poor. So that's what I see as a vampire, somebody who's sucking your life, you know? Not necessarily somebody who's going to bite you on the neck and make you change and you got to
Yeah,
get stabbed with a, you know what I mean?
yeah. Talk like Dracula. Oh,
So,
terrific.
um, so yeah, so but the movie had um so many layers. There's
Hmm.
so many sciences that are revealed in that movie that could hardly be detected by the naked eye.
Hmm.
Um, so, all right. So the first thing is student enrollment, right? We talk about the original man. So, right, the star of the show is Michael B. Jordan, the original man,
Hmm.
and the original man is a maker and an owner. So in the movie, he bought a mill so he could have a jukebox, so he could have his own business back
Hmm.
in his hometown. Because he
Yeah.
in the story, you saw the movie, right?
Yes, I did. I did.
Did you like it? I should have asked you that first. Did you like it?
Hold
I
Repeat that
loved
again.
it. Huh?
You said repeat that. What you said?
I
I did
said,
see the
did you
movie.
like it?
It
Did
was
you?
good. It was a good movie.
Yes,
A lot of
yes.
scientific stuff behind it. If everybody from different school of thought may have viewed differently, different perspective. A lot of esoteric things, occultic things in there, some folklore.
Yes. I want to talk about that. I want to get into that too. But let's, apple sauce it before we get to the steak and the potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
So, boom. Okay, so that's the first thing we're going to show and prove, right? That the main character was dealing with being the maker and the owner, which is a natural state for an original man. That's
Mm-hmm.
not, you know, some grand wizard science. That's natural to be a maker and an owner. That's in the black man's nature. So we see
Mm-hmm.
him doing that. And we see him um, being a savage in the pursuit of happiness
Yeah,
because
he was.
he's killing.
Mm-hmm.
He kills for the gold. Um, he stole, right? If you pay attention to the story, because what was it? Italian wine and Irish beer.
Irish beer to sell in the mill in the jukebox place.
Yeah, and the
Um,
Italian wine. So he um smoke, I think, because the other one is stack.
Stacks and smoke
Um, yeah. So
and the little
Stacks is
cousin.
the one with the grafted chick,
Mm-hmm.
and Smoke is the one setting things up. But Smoke is also a teacher because you see him with the young lady um when he asked her to watch his truck.
Yep.
He was like, we talking numbers. And when we talking numbers, we have to make it match or something like that. Something
Yeah, he did.
along those
To watch
lines.
his truck. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
he said 10 cent is just not going to be enough. So she's like 50 cent and he's like 20. She's like done. So boom. I like that because
Mm-hmm.
it let me know that he's at the edge, but he's not all the way over.
Mm-hmm.
And the respect he had. And then it shows how he valued his reputation when the people was trying to steal it from his truck. And he still shot him. He said, "Why you still shot me?" He said, "Because I can't have nobody talking about I almost robbed the twin."
Mm-hmm.
So
Reputation
that
is
lets
everything.
you know, yes, yes, because sound travels, right? And he wants to be absolutely clear that me and my brother are not people that you play with. Play at a
Mm-hmm.
playground, but not with me and my brother.
Right
So,
on. Right.
yes, I love that. I'm all about machismo, right? That's in my culture. It's in my
Mm-hmm.
DNA.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yes, so now let's fast forward to Smoke Woman, right? He got
Mm-hmm.
him a nice knowledge soil. And
Mm-hmm.
that's the sister from the bayou that deals with unseen sciences. But they're
Mm-hmm.
seen and heard everywhere because I think that's her voice in the beginning when it says some people um, have the music in them so true that it
Mm-hmm.
pierces the veil between life and death.
And death. Yes, it does. Uh-huh.
So, um, the first thing that popped into my mind was the Greeks' first musical instrument. You see it in cartoons. It
Yeah.
looks like a U,
Oh, like
and
a
it got
harp.
the string. And it's
Like a
called
harp.
the lyre.
The
It's
like
called the
something like
lyre.
that. Yeah.
So
Oh, go
I was
ahead. You
like,
breaking it down. Go ahead. Go ahead. I see where you go with this.
yeah, because they're not like us. Um, like I know we have congas, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's our because we're always making music to the rhythm of our
Mm-hmm.
heartbeat.
Something
That's how
like
come we're always yes, let's get it.
yeah.
So and we make musical instruments out of anything,
Anything. Beer
you
bottles,
know.
pieces of metal. I'm saying.
We take the cactus and hammer in the nails because
Hmm.
that's the first maracas.
Hmm.
So, and then the congas, we take the skin over the wood, the animal skin
Yeah, goat
over the
skin.
wood.
Hmm.
Uh huh.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, so she's breaking down how that same science is called different things in Ghana. Um, who else does she say? I
I
know
believe
Ghana is the
Bantu,
last one.
the Bantu people in Africa.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she says somebody else. And she said you but it's the same thing. And she was like, these voices have the power to heal community. Again, sound travels, right?
Hmm.
So, and then the power in words, because we have the 11th degree and the one of 14, right? Have you not heard that your word is born? Yes, my word is born and born is life. And I give my life before my word shall fail. So
Hmm.
you're giving life, you're singing, right? You're singing from your soul, because we call it soul music.
Hmm.
So you singing from your soul and you giving your life to others. And some have so much power in that they can heal communities. And
Hmm.
we know from science, for every action, there's an opposite
Yeah, but
and
reaction.
equal reaction.
Hmm.
So while you have this power to heal, you also have the power to attract negativity, to come
Hmm.
challenge, right?
Exactly.
So why did God make devil? Right? To show forth his power that he is all wise and righteous. And I gotta stop giving up these degrees on here. Somebody gonna come and pop me upside my
Now you sharing, like, with all due respect, you're sharing.
but
Yeah,
so yeah, I am sharing and it is coming from a pure heart, but everybody don't see things the same way. But
wow.
yeah, back to the movie, right? So
Yeah.
little Sammy, he has the power. So they show. I love that scene. That's my favorite scene in the whole movie when he sings in the juke and you hear the beat to set it off, and then you see the past. You see the like the
The present, future.
tribes, huh?
Yep. You see the past, present, and future.
Yes. Oh my
Hmm.
God. I love that part of the movie. To me, that was the meat. That was the steak and potatoes of the movie right there.
Mm.
And that's what attracted that Caucasian vampire. And all he wanted to do was get the family, right?
Yeah.
He
He was trying
wanted
to
to
get that
use
cipher.
He wanted to use him as a tool and also a slave and keep him blind and deaf to his own self.
Exactly. And I believe he was before we go further into that, I think was it Smoker Stacks was dealing with that half sister that was half melanated,
Yeah.
half European. Let me
Uh
correct
huh.
myself. Half European, half African descent, and something he had like a love affair with her.
Yes. And he's still with her.
Yeah, he
Because
did.
in the end, you see them together as vampires.
Yes, but it comes to she corrupted him because they got to
Mm
her because of her
hmm. Mm
own
hmm.
stubbornness. Her own
She
stubbornness
don't
got
know
her.
how to listen.
Exactly. So she got messed up out there. But the science of that movie, again, as you said, it explains the travel of sound, the science of sound, science of frequency, vibration, the power, as you said, of healing or destroying.
Mm
And it's a movie that should be watched without the without from not from the lens of looking for entertainment, but from understanding different perspectives of high sciences. And I say high sciences respectfully. I'm not trying to kick no spookism to nobody because you know, you say tomato, I say tomato. But we have,
hmm.
the perspective, different perspectives, but it's this it comes to a place of where we have understanding of what's taking place. So,
I agree. Cause even when they show you Smoke's girl, right?
mhm,
When she's throwing the bones and she's coming up with different sciences, and she
yeah,
was like, "This is something different." See, she was the one that really did the knowledge because she
mhm,
was like, "Your fat ass been coming in and out of here all day. Why you need an invitation?"
mhm,
And she's like, "Nah, this ain't right." Da 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 da. So then she took, and this is what it reminded me of family. Like she took what was in her kitchen to create protection and awareness to the best of
mhm.
her ability with what she had.
Salt.
I was like, like, yes, yes. Because a lot of people, they think, they hear like voodoo or santeria or
Mhm.
whatever, and they get really spooky. Like for somebody to not be spooky, you get real spooky real quick
Of course, because of
because you don't
depiction.
yeah, you don't understand the periodic table. You don't understand your human composition,
Talk that talk.
and you don't understand the science of alchemy.
Talk that talk, sister. Go, yo, talk that talk. It- People understand. It's just science, man. It's yo, all that do is alchemy. It's energy and alchemy, man. That's all it is. And knowing the plants, the power of the plants, being a botanist at the same time,
Because
herbology,
people don't understand. Like you just
science of breath.
witnessed the flame.
Mm-hmm.
You just witnessed the flame. Like that's alchemy right there. I just
Mm-hmm.
changed oxygen into carbon dioxide
Yeah,
right in
man.
front of
Talk,
everybody's eye.
talk about it.
And with that, I'm keeping plants alive. And by me keeping plants alive, I'm keeping animals alive.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't see my breath unless it was super bad, right? Then you might see it. But
No.
um nah, but you can't see it unless the temperature dropped. Then you would see from the heat of the body coming into the
Mm-hmm.
cold of the planet. So then you would be
Mm-hmm.
able to see it. But there are so many things. You can't see your bones, but you know they there. You can feel them. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I have a skeleton. I can't see it. I can't tell you what color it is right now. I can't even
Mm-hmm.
tell you the true color of my blood because it's the oxygen. When my blood hits the oxygen in the
It turns
atmosphere,
red.
it changes to red.
Oxygenated blood. That's it.
So people don't understand these things. So when they see a scene like Smoke's girl throwing the little bones or whatever she had and telling everybody to eat that garlic mixture and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that, they get real spooky real quick. But
That comes from stigmas people have with anything that deals with spirituality. Some people assume spirituality means that you must sit in somebody's church, in someone's pew, watching somebody in the pulpit jump up and down, shout, ask for money, open your Bibles. That's not it. There's different passages. There are different methods of communicating with your higher self, the higher power. You understand? I say that respectfully. This is why I don't get engaged in a certain school of thoughts, go at somebody else's perspective or practice, because I'll be like, what works for you may not work for them, and vice versa. It's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. As long as you, whatever you're studying, whatever your beliefs or practices are, keeps you righteous and exact,
yes,
not out
yes,
here, behaving as a fool, I'm all for it. But if it's anything that's cult like, I don't want no parts of it. So I'm
that's
I'm not, huh? What
that's
you said?
that's what. So That's what I was talking about the first time I got on y'all show,
Mm-hmm.
and that's in the mathematics because knowledge is also respect. It's not just collecting data.
Mm-hmm.
It's respecting the source of the
Mm-hmm.
actual data, the actual information, respecting it. I don't have to agree with you. I don't. It may not necessarily. I may not have the experience that you have, so I can't understand what you understand. Like I
Talk
never
about it.
know what it is to be a man. Never. No matter how many dudes I hang out with, no matter how many speeches I hear from men, I will not ever know what it
Mm-hmm.
is to be a man.
I got you.
So,
I hear you.
you know what I mean?
Now,
There are just some things that are not meant for me. I have a path that's for me to learn, for me to teach, and for me to be. And what I'm gonna steal from Erica Badu. The man that knows something knows that he knows nothing at all. And she's a Buddhist.
The next people don't believe in God, but if you was just yo, you took it. Yo, that's my jam right there. So
Yeah,
as the gods say, in peace to them, they want to go from knowledge to born, right? So I'm gonna ask you a few questions.
sure.
Each question come from the perspective of supreme mathematics. And please,
Okay.
again, I don't come in the name of Allah. I'm not. I'm just asking questions. All right. No, I just want to put that disclaimer out there. You know what I'm saying? So, how does the I how does the idea of knowledge manifest through the character self awareness or denial of truth in sinners?
So first thing, knowledge is infinite, so it can't be denial.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one. And the acceptance of who you are, where you are, when you are, and what you are, that's that's the knowledge. That's the infinity.
Mm-hmm. Got you. And that's how it manifests through each character. Each character knew had knowledge of who they are and what they are.
Look at
The
the
thinker.
twins.
Mm-hmm.
The twins knew. So they're really in the 1 to 36. Their characters are really the 1 to 36 because they got led to Chicago because someone promised them more than what that they would earn more than what they was earning. And they got into a war because
Mm.
they were promised that they would get more than what they was earning. That's how come from all the times they had got tricked. That's how come they stole from the Italians and the Irish and brought that back home to make a profit of who? Of their own people.
Yeah. Ooh. I like that.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
he had a time limit. When Smoke talks to his brother Stack, he's telling them in 3 months we out of here.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
We
Yeah.
going Yeah, we gonna get this and that, and then boom, let's take that from the knowledge to the understanding, because knowledge and understanding is one and the same. So he was giving his brother a clear mental picture, and all Stack wanted was money, 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 money. That's all he cared about. That was his foundation for his motion.
Got you. And we also got to add the part that although the movie had original people in there, it also had a few Indians in there too that were
Oh
chasing
yeah,
the devil.
Joe. Let me tell you something about them Indian that came to them white people's door.
Mm-hmm.
I say, yo, they a special kind of people. And no
Mm-hmm.
shade. No shade. They was a special kind of people because That white lady lied in his face. And cause
Mm,
she's another one that was led. When that vampire showed her the gold,
yeah.
they let him in. They let him. The motherfucking skin was on fire.
They
This
come and show you the
nigga's
greed.
skin is smoking. Nigga had holes and patches of holes on his literal skin with flame. And you gonna let
Mhm.
this nigga in your crib? Is you crazy? But they
It's
saw
the
that
money, the
going.
greed, the
The
morality.
greed.
So,
The greed. Uh,
crazy. Being that we went through the question from a knowledge perspective, right?
mhm.
This this is coming from in the category of wisdom, right? Does the film suggest that wisdom can exist without moral purity?
Yes. Yes, that's really what I got from that because I just finished saying how Smoke and Stack and that white lady are
Mm-hmm.
led by greed. And
Yep.
see that devil, that hierarchy vampire, he knew that. That's how come he kept flashing that gold coin. Notice he didn't give it to nobody.
Mm-mm.
He just kept flashing it, right?
That's a fact.
So and he told Smoke after he turned his brother, he told Smoke, um, you can't use this anyway.
Mm. Yeah, he
So
did.
wisdom is a manifestation of knowledge. So whether you're doing righteousness or devilishment, you still gonna be manifesting your knowledge, and your knowledge may not be my knowledge. Because
Talk that
remember,
talk.
there's 85, 10, and 5. So out of every 100 people, let me say, I said that wrong. Out of every 99 people that I meet, because I make the 100 and I make the
Mm.
5, only 4 people out of 99 people are my people. 95 people. So I'm used to being alone. I'm used to being the unalike. When when I see that I'm the unalike and I'm alone, that's how I usually know I'm doing right. I get leery when I see people doing well. I'll be like, wait, hold on. Why,
It throws you off.
I'm like, wait a minute. I'm really with family? Because I'm not used to that. I'm used to being the
Yeah.
unalike.
So I got you. I respect that. Oh, in terms of understanding, right? With respect to the movies, how does misunderstanding between generation youth versus adults reflect the lack of divine understanding?
Good question. So they show that in Sinners with little Sammy and his father, the pastor,
Yeah.
because his father. Because remember, we don't get to see his father when he was blind, deaf, and dumb. We hear
Yeah.
the story about him and
Mm-hmm.
how he did that dirt to build that church, and so
Mm-hmm.
he stays hard on his son. Because in the beginning, remember, he told him to quote something. And he tells
Yeah.
him to read from the book, but Sammy closes it and quotes the
Mhm.
whole and goes even further. So that shows the whole generation. And even when Sammy kept his word was born. He told his
Mhm.
father, listen, I worked all week. I want to be free of this for one night. And I'll be
Mhm.
back in the morning for service. And he
Mhm.
came back in the morning for service, but he couldn't let go. That guitar was
The
trash,
guitar. Yeah.
but he couldn't let go. And
Definitely.
then l- look at look at the scene of the church is so powerful for me because it shows you how blind, deaf, and dumb the 85 are. Because everybody's dressed in white robes. Everybody's dressed the same. And what does my clothes have to do with my spirituality? Why do
Talk
I
that
need to
talk.
symbolize? to you who I am when your flesh and you're vulnerable to the same things I'm vulnerable to. I have a divine, according to the Bible, I have a divine connection with my creator. He created me in his image. And
Mm-hmm.
he's only going to give me things that I can handle. The things he give you are for you to handle. He knows your worth. He knows my worth. And then this is the shit that I fuck with my family all the time. They hate me for this shit right here. I be
Mm-hmm.
like, how we going to hell when that was the whole point of Jesus dying on the cross?
Mm. That's deep. Why do I fear death? Yeah, I know. I know. Don't let's not. But it's a fact, though. Some people misconstrue things. They all interpret their own interpretation because they will say, "All right, through Christ, I found everlasting life." So I don't know what death is because, as the story goes, he died for our sins. Right?
Yes. So
Doesn't make sense.
nobody goes to hell no more.
Mm.
Nobody goes to hell no more, according to what the Bible says.
According, yeah.
That was the whole point of his sacrifice. That was the whole point of the Immaculate Conception and the death on the cross.
Mm-hmm.
So again, why like why are we
That's
going to church?
listen.
Like
You know, the people again that happens when you have a lack of knowledge of self. You know, when you because you need an intermediary to help you communicate with your higher power to guide you. You know what I'm saying? So they may say, "Oh, that's our enlightener." It's the pastor, but pastor's just a mortal man just like you. You're just reading the
mhm.
same passage every weekend. You're not going through the entirety of the book, and it doesn't stop there within that one book. You got to go touch the other books as well. But that's another conversation for
66.
something else. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yes,
another
yes.
conversation. So,
But
in
yeah,
terms
that
of
was understanding.
of course, so we go on culture and freedom, right?
Hmm.
How does the town's culture create the mental and moral confinement the girls react against?
So before Smoke and Stat got there, we saw a beautiful culture.
Mm-hmm.
There was a beautiful culture. People were working in the field, people were owning shops, they were working in shops, they were supporting their local business, right?
Mm-hmm.
And and we saw all types of culture, like oh, what's that old actor's name that was playing the harmonica?
Mm-hmm. Oh, there
Um,
were Lindo.
so
Mm-hmm.
we saw culture. His culture was alcohol, and music.
And music and so a
That's
little bit of
all he
money
lived
too.
for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he ain't even really care about the money because when he was talking about the juke joint he play every Saturday, he admitted that they wasn't really paying him, but he had all the beer he could drink.
Yeah.
And he played the piano, right? He played the piano for them, and and the money wasn't even nearing him that Stack was offering him. He said,
Mm-mm.
"Shit, you ain't paying $20 a night, maybe $20 two night. That you ain't paying every night." You know what I mean? So that was his culture. That was an individual's culture. And then, like I said, we saw a thriving community, right?
Yeah, we
Even
did.
the mulatto girl, she had just buried her mother, who
Yeah.
had midwifed and nursed the twins.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, so we saw the culture, we saw the way of life, and we saw how just two men who came in with lust and greed destroyed that
Mm-hmm.
whole town. Because
Exactly.
they
The energy
came,
was infectious.
they, Yeah, they came and they took people out the fields and they promised them more gold than what they was already earning. And
Mm-hmm.
like fools, they went running for that gold and lost their life. That town is no more.
Exactly. Talk about it. So power and refinement. And this one right here is deep. What moments in the movie symbolize refinement or cleansing of guilt?
When Smoke's girl is getting ready to die, she said, I got some, she said, promise me if one of them
Mm-hmm.
bite me, you gonna take me out before I turn. I have somebody on the other side waiting for me. And when
Mm.
he dies, that's when you see her again with the little girl. So it kind of shows, um, cause his word was life. Cause he told that white man, if I see you or any of your clansmen on my property, I'm gonna shoot y'all
Mm-hmm.
dead right where y'all stand.
Yep.
And he
And
was
he
ready
did.
for them. And he did. And he gets shot. And when he's getting ready to die, you see him with the vision of her. So that was his purity. Cause you see how she's in the white, the little girl's in the white, and
Mhm.
his facial reaction is that of peace where he looks at her. Because
Yeah.
he really loved her.
Yes, he did. I seen that throughout the movie. He did love her, though he was being like,
Yes.
his lifestyle. She didn't agree with his lifestyle, but she still the power of love. She still watched over him.
And
That's
she
deep right
told
there.
him, she said, every day I pray for you and your crazy ass brother.
Hmm. Yeah, have me go watch that movie again. That movie was a good movie. Oh man,
Yes.
in terms of equality, we're gonna jump into the equality part. Um,
Um,
can equality?
go
What you
ahead,
about
go
to
ahead.
say?
No, no,
You
no.
about to
Go
say
ahead, go
something?
ahead. Uh-uh.
Can e- can equality exist in a society built on judgment and shame?
That is the equality, the judgment and the shame.
Understand? But can it?
Because
But
people share that thought equally. Like
yes, they do.
I'm a true daughter of a law. I'm a true 5%er. I'm a
Hmm.
judgy motherfucker. I judge all the time. I judge all the time. All the fucking time. I
Is it
judge what I want
discernment?
to eat. I
Hmm.
mean, I have to judge. It's a part of intellect. Do I want to? I'm
Yeah,
not a fool.
of
What
course.
Malcolm X say? If you don't stand for something, you fall for
You go for
anything.
anything. Yeah, exactly. Gotta use discernment. You gotta, as you guys say, do the knowledge on the person,
So
see their
I'm a
actions.
judge. I'm a
Hmm.
judge. I'm gonna listen to you, right? I'm gonna do the knowledge, and I'm gonna see are your words matching your actions. That's the first judgment I'm doing. And just
Mm-hmm.
because you passed that test, don't think you could fool me. Like I got brothers and sisters in the culture that I didn't call out their shit, right? Because
Hmm.
I learned to keep it in my pocket till I need it.
Hmm.
And when they ready to hear it, I let them know. This is why I don't fuck with you. On this day, you revealed, and thus forth, this is why.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? But right now, I don't know what they think. I know what they did. I know how I digested the information, but
Hmm.
I just keep. It's they not ready yet. You know,
Yeah.
some people got to spend a little more time. It's just like a baby. Some people are born at 38 weeks, some at 40, some at 41, some at 42.
Time and place for everything. So, being that we still on equality, I want to ask another one on
Uh huh.
equality. How does each character's sin reflect an imbalance between equality and ego?
Ooh, that's a good one. So, because I love Michael B. Jordan's character, the twins, right? So we saw them, right? Because they're led by money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they'll do anything for money. They'll rob, they'll steal, they'll kill, all in the name of more money, more gold, right? But
Mm-hmm.
they tell you in the movie that that vampire dude tells him all of that is based on a lie. You ain't gonna never get that.
Mm-hmm.
He said
When the
this
devil
was a
knew.
slaughterhouse,
Mm-hmm.
and they coming here to kill you.
Yeah.
So you see the equality and the imbalance. You see, you can even say they showed you their justice.
Oh, yes, they did.
They,
That's that part spoke in many volumes because it's like similar how it was a mad that mill became a madhouse that he tried to build, right? It also shows
right,
how the so-called urban community, the ghetto, is that where our people thrive, black and brown tend to thrive at, try to do their best. They somehow stifle, not somehow, they did with the drugs in our community. We could go further back to the heroin epidemic, and then from the heroin came the crack epidemic. And they made you believe that, if I'm out there selling this to my people, like the twins were doing the movie, the alcohol and all that, I'm making $1, not knowing that you're killing your people in the process. And they set you up for that to build a case up against you, come back in, take you up out of your home, put you in jail, and there it
yeah,
goes. You was never a real drug dealer. You was just you know, I
a
call you a
gopher.
distributor. Yeah, you just a
You're a
distributor.
gopher.
They're the dealers. Yeah,
You're a gopher
that's
because you didn't manufacture anything, you distributed.
exactly. You're not even a dealer. Yeah, it's a fact, man. Wow.
So yeah, we saw that. We saw where who else? Oh, Sammy. Sammy's character. You saw his equality because he stood true to his own self. Even
Yes, he
though
did.
he went to the edge, he stood true. And that's how come he's the only survivor you see in that movie from that scene.
Hmm. Yeah, that was him
And
in the
he
end, right?
yeah, he still had the mark from when that vampire scratched his face.
Yeah.
He still had that mark on his face.
Mm.
And that's so you that makes me think about the lesson. So he can always keep in mind that if he ever revealed the secret, and then look who comes to see him at the end, Stack with the mulatto chick.
Hmm.
And you could see their equality because love is a high level of understanding. And understanding is a clear mental picture of what something truly is and not what it seems to be. And she really loved him, right?
Yeah.
She learned how to fight from him. She
Hmm.
learned how to speak his language
Hmm.
and what you call it. But she wouldn't listen to him whenever he pushed her away.
Never. She
She
never
was
did.
like, no, no. And at the end, even when all them vampires were murdered, you
Hmm.
still saw them two together, and it looked like they was in the 80s because she had the bamboo
Blue
earrings,
earrings. He had the shades and the cut
and he
partly.
had the Coogee sweater.
Hmm.
So they was given like late 80s or
Early,
mid
yeah.
80s kind of vibe. And I think that movie starts. I think it's like the 1930s. I
1930s, yeah.
think,
Yeah,
yeah,
early 1930s. There was a lot of messages behind it.
yes. So they're all the way in the 80s. Sammy getting ready to die, and then he leave. Oh yeah, and he had the 4 finger name ring with the stack. So yeah, they was
Yeah,
definitely in the 80s.
they were. It comes to
Um,
show you like where it came. The poison transcended through each generation. The devil manifests in many forms, as you guys
and
quoted.
people don't understand that because My favorite degree to quote is the fourth degree in the one of 14, because it talks about why did we run Yakub and his maid devil from the root of civilization across the hot Arabian desert into the caves of West Asia as they now call Europe? You go into other stuff. But what's imperative to me in that question, or rather in the answer, well, in the question, because why did we run Yakub and his maid devil from the root of so you could have had the devil anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere. He could have been anywhere because the earth has three parts: a best
Yeah.
part, a poor part, and a worst part. So you
Mm-hmm.
had the devil in the root of civilization. That's an operative phrase.
Mm. That's deep
So
right there.
so yeah, so when I see um um like movies like that or scenes like that where dude like so we saw that the grafted devil perish, and we saw a lot of the other vampires perish,
Mm-hmm.
but Stack and his grafted one,
Yeah.
right, and his grafted stood together through decades, right? Because we were
Mm-hmm.
talking about equality, right? That's how I spiraled down into here. So
Exactly.
that was they equality. That was they bond that they shared. They really did have um a love that was foul. Like when you was asking about the inequality with the equality,
Mm-hmm.
that's a perfect example of that as well.
It is right there. Cause yeah, yeah, it transcended. Yeah, and it was cause of her. Cause she was the first one to.
Yes,
She was
she
the first one to
was.
go. She was the first one, and her coming back in after she was infected got the whole place in the upper part of the place fell apart because it fell apart because of her. Yeah.
Now, now, see, a lot of women. So see, I always tell Supreme, these lessons are not for women. These
Mhm.
lessons are for men. Because a woman knows she's a woman. Whether she blind, deaf, or dumb, she knows she's a woman. If she's a hoe, she's gonna be with a pimp, right?
Mhm.
Right or wrong.
Yeah, you're
If
right.
she's in the church, she gonna have a church. She gonna have a church man. If she's a revolutionary, she's gonna have a revolutionary man.
Counterpart
Whatever.
balance.
Yes, a woman knows her own self. That's how come back the older gods used to say, um, a woman is your plus degree because
Mhm.
you don't really know your power till you have a woman, till you
Yeah.
make and own. Because the earth was already in space before the sun shine night. The sun just changed the composition of what was already there.
Talk about it. Mhm.
Because we calculate it takes 8 minutes and 20 seconds for sunlight to reach the earth.
Mhm.
So the earth was already in space. The earth was already, I already know who I am. What I need to know is who you are and what we gonna do together.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's all I gotta say about that.
Man, I
That went
like
on
that.
for a long time.
No, no, no. You didn't. Everything you make sense. If they so, let me be nice. If they don't understand, not forget. Sorry, I don't like calling people that, but if they don't understand, go back and listen. So we gonna get into the God degree, right?
Uh-huh.
What does the film teach about the human attempt to define or act in God's place?
Well, you really saw that in the black woman
Mm-hmm. Yes, you
with
did.
Smoke's girl.
Mm-hmm.
Because Remember, she said, I pray. She said, who you think keep you alive? I pray every day for you and your crazy ass brother.
Mm-hmm.
So she talking about she acknowledged the power of words, the power of thought, putting
Mm-hmm.
others before her own self.
Mm-hmm.
That line right there is so heavy.
Yeah.
Like that's so heavy. Now let's go to the pastor.
Mm-hmm.
After uh, he he used religion to shield his dirty way of life because we hear the story of his filth, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how his filth led him to getting money so he could build that church. So, my man, let's calm down. Let's calm down with calling God and Jesus and everybody. I'm gonna need you to tone that down just a little bit, my brother, just a little bit.
Grandstanding. He was grandstanding, throwing
Yeah,
rocks, throwing rocks in a glass from a glass house. Mm-hmm.
yes, he was definitely, and that's how come I said like the woman. See, uh, uh, a lot of people in my culture gonna get mad at this. I stand 10 toes down on this. Had
Mm-hmm.
it not been for a woman, 5% culture would not exist.
No comment.
Because Dorva, Allah was in the Korean War, and
Mm-hmm.
Dorva went into the temple. And when Allah came home, Dorva had already stopped eating pork. I heard I used to socialize with one of Allah's nephews, and I heard Dora when she was alive. She said I knew him when he was eating pork. Couldn't tell me nothing
Mm-hmm.
because she had cleaned up without him. Let's take it back to what I said about the planets. The Earth was already in space. The Earth was already pre-packaged. It's the sunlight that changed the composition of the planet.
Mm-hmm.
So taking it to this woman in the movie, Smoke. I really wish I remember her. You see how into Michael B. Jordan, I ain't forget him or his other character name. Um, Look at me being disrespectful to my knowledge, so you sister. That ain't do not one thing wrong. Um, but yeah, but she was fat. She was slow and sturdy. She wasn't fast like Stack's grafted devil.
Mm-hmm.
Stack's grafted devil didn't listen, didn't do the knowledge. Because had
Mm-mm.
she did the knowledge, she would have been alive. She would have went home like he told her.
She was more worried about lusting with him, trying to get back to him, reconnect with him, and feeling like he abandoned her and such. Yeah.
And it's a feeling. And it's
Yeah.
a feeling. Feelings go away.
Yeah.
Time.
Smokes Queen was more, as you said, she was into herself, knowledge of herself, her word, her power. She knew she walk her walk.
Yes. She did the knowledge. She told him, I don't want your money. He said, she was like, that's blood money. He said, all money, blood money. She said, not like yours. So
Mm-hmm.
she knew her man. And I steal from Chris Rock. Chris Rock in one of his shows, I think Bigger and Blacker, he said a woman know a man better than he know himself.
That's true. Yeah, because some dudes will disagree with this. I'm gonna say shut up because your mother knew you better than yourself. You know what I'm saying? It don't have to be it doesn't have to always be your counterpart, your wife or your mate. It could be your mother. There's a woman that knows you better.
Your older
And
sister, your aunt.
yeah, they'll know when you're lying. They'll know something is wrong with you. The time my mother would call me, I'm like, damn, she got some power on her. Like, how she know I was going through something? She'll call me, hey, what's going on? I'm like, she's like, I feel something's not right with you. You know.
Like my antennas was up when my daughter gave birth to my first grandchild. I hadn't spoken to my daughter, I think, for like 2 days. And I call her, she answers. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I've been so wrapped up with life, but I have this need to speak to you, like in urgency. Like, I need to know what's going on with you. She had just had the baby. I was like, my antennas was all, and we're like 3,000 miles apart.
Mm-hmm.
My antennas, my parenthood was all the way, my antennas was all the way up. So yes, we saw the God within being manifested through um smoke swimming. We saw the fake uh interpretation of God with Sammy's father, the preacher, how they
Mm-hmm.
use God's name to shield their dirty way of life, and because they was filthy in their affairs, and because they fell victim. Now they want to preach dumb hard so
Yeah,
that you, my man, who said I'm susceptible to the same things as you?
exactly. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. All right, so we're gonna go to the eighth degree, which is build,
Man.
destroy. Right? What
So I
cycle
already
of construct? Huh?
go ahead.
I said, what cycles of construction and deconstructions appear in the moral of the story?
So I already broke down the destruction of the two men
Mhm.
with love, with greed, right? And coming
Yeah.
to others and promising them more than what they, and that destroyed. For people falling victim, they were
Mm.
destroyed. They were demolished. The building part was in the beginning, the dream, the thought, the concept, black
Mm-hmm.
owned, by us, for us.
Mm-hmm.
Cause you see, they ain't let no grafted people in.
Oh hell no! Hell
This is
no!
ours. This is for
Hmm.
us, right?
Definitely.
So, so that was them building, but being that their foundation wasn't correct, it was all destroyed.
Yeah, that's deep right there.
We got to
So
do Biggie. It was all a
no
dream.
dream. Oh, so we're gonna go straight to the ninth. Born. All right.
Uh huh.
Does the story resolution represent the rebirth of truth or death of the innocence?
Oh, yes, it does. Because we see it with Sammy.
Mm-hmm.
It shows you how truth and righteousness and morality and integrity are not for all. It's for the chosen few.
Mm-hmm.
So that was Sammy's character, little Sammy's character. He's
That's
the
true.
only one that represents that.
Mm-hmm. That's peace right there. And last but not least, you know, cipher. How
So
does the go ahead? You build on that. No question. You build on that. What's the cipher do?
so,
Yeah, we.
so the cipher is the collection of everything: the bad, the good, the ugly, the beautiful,
Mm-hmm.
the thoughts, whether they were created in righteousness or not. Because Sammy's thoughts were righteous. That's why he survived. But,
Mm-hmm.
not but, the twins' thoughts versus, right? Sammy's thought, because all Sammy wanted to do was play the guitar and sing his music, right?
Mm-hmm.
And be free from work. That's all
Mm-hmm.
Sammy wanted. The twins wanted to be rich slave makers of the poor and teach the poor lies to believe, right? Oh, this the
Hmm.
best Irish beer you ever. You ain't gonna taste no beer like this. Of
Yeah,
course it tastes good. I've never tasted Irish beer before.
yeah,
I'm gonna
definitely.
love it. I never
Hmm.
had Italian wine. This is better than any other wine because I'm used to the beer that's here. I'm used to the wine that's here.
Hmm.
So something new is always intriguing and fascinating, but it's not always good for you. I gotta
Exactly.
steal from Chris Rock again. Chris Rock said you could drive a car with your feet, but that don't mean it's to be done.
Mm-mm. Talk
Just
about it.
because something is available to you and you have the opportunity, we talked about that in the beginning, consequence,
Yeah,
right? Your
that's a fact.
every action is your reward. Go ahead.
No, that's a fact. Because every dollar ain't a good dollar. Just because it's glitter doesn't mean it's gold, and every free meal is a good meal.
That's a
it comes
fact.
with it come with strings attached. You don't want to have that. So from that movie itself, again, it's something that I got to rewatch again. And there's a lot of hidden things I pick up on that, and it's funny when we were going through the lessons. You said the supreme breakdown of it. I'm like, yeah, there were Indians in the movie, and the devil came in, and the devil got to the Indian first, and it happened in life in that same order. You get
But
what
the
I'm
devil
saying?
didn't get to the Indian.
No,
Remember, the
The Indian was
Indians
chasing.
was hunting.
Yeah, it was hunting. It was hunting them, but they got to the
He was
Europeans.
running. He
Hmm.
was so scared of them Indians that his skin was burning because he was running from them.
But that's how, let me reword it. But it's funny how it's that's always part of history. You see, with the Tainos went through it with the Europeans, then the Africans come about. So it's always in some way in that order. Because I know the Indians, the indigenous back then, kicked up dust with the Europeans when they came on their land. They kick up dust, and what they did, they reach out to others, and they create an army and went at it with the Indians. Eventually, then later on the Africans. So that's always in the history. It's very repetitive. That one story, in history. It's crazy. It's crazy, and that's something I want to get into.
and,
I
and,
like to do. Go ahead.
and he still blessed them. And he blessed them in their native tongue. And that white bitch lied to him. He said, is he in your house right now?
Hmm.
Because he's not what he seems to be.
Hmm.
And she still lied because she was thinking about that gold coin he flashed at her. And
That's a
then
fact.
his man, he was gonna waste time trying to break this chick. But his man was like, yo, let's go, let's get up out of here before it get dark. And they left. We don't see the Indians no more.
That's a fact. We got to come back more with some movie breakdowns through the
Yes,
lens of wise
I
Asia.
love movie. I love movie breakdown. Two people in my life showed me how to pay attention to movies. One, my dad,
Hmm.
because he said movies have a little bit of truth, and then it's
Hmm.
a whole lot of lies.
What's permitted
So,
by the government allow you to put in. You know what I'm saying? To the
and then
make.
Najee, when I first met the god Najee, he was breaking down the Wizard of Oz.
Oh, powerful movie right there. Very deep. Very deep.
But I break it down different than him. He had me look at that movie so hard that I changed and I came back to him with my own. He said, yo, that's a good one. Because Dorothy was used as a tool and also a slave by the good witch Glinda.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
The good witch Glinda, she committed murder. She put Dorothy's house on the sister.
Yep.
She the one who stole her ruby slippers and put
Yeah.
them on Dorothy. And she had her go to the wizard who was a foot. See what
Yes.
happened? When you don't, if you don't stand for something, You
They fall
fall
for
for
anything.
anything.
You see that this that's why when I watched The Wizard of Oz as a child, my pops and I used to watch it a lot. He used to break it down, and that's why we went from that and straight to the Wiz. You know, get
Oh,
on down the road. You know what I'm saying?
yes.
But you know, with that being said, Wise Asia, I appreciate you, Queen,
Super
Earth,
Mike, you know I love
Mother.
you and Supreme.
Love you always. Love always. Shout out to my brother Ron. You know what I'm saying? Peace to the gods, peace to the earth. Peace to everyone out there. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, super chats. Leave respectful comments. If you got anything disrespectful, you'll be blocked. Trust me. Um, not for real. Some people out here, you got some zealots out here, you got some nutcases out here. Um, Stay tuned, share this content. You know what I'm saying? Reach out to us, engage, and help us grow. We'll continue to bring you more great content, more good shows, more bigger guests. But this will not be done without your support. So don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, super chats. Wise Asia, it was a pleasure, my sister. Thank you for coming out
Always my brother.
all the time. Peace to all the viewers and listeners. With that being said, we out. Peace.
Peace.